Hello, I am Monica Savargave. I have completed my diploma in computer science and I am currently in final year of Bachelor of Engineering degree in Information Technology from the KDK College of Engineering, Nagpur. Currently, I am working as an intern at Technotexture where I am focusing on SQL and create queries on a SQL. This internship helped me to apply my theoretical knowledge into real world. This internship helped me to improve my problem solving skills. Firstly, I would like to thank you, Sangmeshwar sir, for helping me whenever I faced problems with my SQL queries. In Technodextures, I completed multiple tasks. My first task is I understand what is the SQL. First, what is the SQL? SQL stands for Structure Query Language. The SQL is a standard programming language used to manage and manipulate relational databases. It's enable user to perform variety of tasks such as create table, delete table, update table, or read table. SQL provides a structure and command to perform these operations. Widely used for support across various database systems like MySQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL Server, and many others. Then next, how the SQL works. The SQL works according to this diagram. Firstly, the user create the SQL query. The SQL query is nothing but a command like select, insert. Then SQL language processor. What is SQL language processor? The SQL language processor translate the SQL query into a form of database which database can understand. Then, what is person and optimizer? It checks the query for errors and find the most efficient way to execute it. Then DBMS engine. DBMS engine execute optimized query. Physical databases. Physical database is actual database, actual data were stored. Okay. Then what can SQL do? SQL can execute queries. SQL can retrieve data from the databases. SQL can insert record in the databases. SQL can update records. SQL can delete records. SQL can create a new databases. SQL can create tables in the databases. SQL can create store procedure in the databases. Yeah. Anything we study like language, anything, firstly we understand what is the advantages of that language. Here, here is the advantage of SQL. SQL is easy to understand. Then create a several views. Easy. The syntax of a SQL is very easy, and SQL language a portable language. The SQL language is an interactive language. Then there are multiple types of SQL language, that is DDL, data definition language. Second is DML, data manipulation language. Third is a DCL, data control language. Fourth is a DQL, data query language. Fifth is the TCL, transaction control language. Firstly, we understand what is the data definition language. The DDL stand for the data definition language. It is a subset of SQL which is used to define and manage the structure of databases. It is a primarily used for creating, altering, dropping databases, object like tables, indexes, and schemas. DDL command are as follows: create, alter, truncate, drop, and rename. Then, firstly, we understand what is a create. The create command is used to create a new table in SQL. The user has to give information like table name, column name, and their data types. Here is the syntax of a create table. Firstly, write a create table, then table name and column and its data types. Then second, alter table. Alter table. Alter is a command to used to add, delete, change columns in existing table. The user need to know the existing table for the delete and modification task easily. Alter table. Uh, the syntax of alter table is alter table, table name, add column, column name, data type. Truncate table. The truncate. This command is used to remove all the records from the database, from the table. But the structure of the table still exists when we delete the records. Here, the syntax of the truncate table is truncate table, table name. Fourth is drop. Drop command. This command is used to remove the all existing table along with its structure from the database. Here we see that we can in truncate we can remove only records but structure still alive. But in drop command we remove all the tables along with the structure. Here. Fifth one is a rename. It is a possible to change name of the table with or without the data in using simple rename command. We can rename any table object at any point of time. Rename. Rename tables command. Syntax. Rename table old table name to new table name. Okay. Second is DML. DML stands for the data manipulation language. Here, DML is a subset of SQL language which is used to manage and manipulate data within a databases. It focuses on operation like inserting, updating, deleting, retrieving data from the existing tables easily. DML allow user to application to interact with and modify the data stored in a databases. DML command are as follows: insert, update, delete. Whenever we create any table, then we need to insert data or values insert into the table. So the insert command is used to enter the information or values into the table or rows. We can connect one or more record to a single table with the help of insert command. The syntax of insert command is insert into table name, column 1, 2 and values. Then second, update. The update. Whenever we need to update anything from an existing table, then we use the update command. This command is used to update the existing data within the table. The syntax of the update is update table name, set column equal to value, column 2 equal to value 2, where and condition. Here, whenever we try to update any data, then firstly we give to the condition to the database. Then third is the delete. This command is used to delete record from the database. The syntax of the delete command is delete from table name where condition. Then our third data is data control language, DCL. DCL. The DCL stands for data control language. It is a component of SQL language that is used to implement security on databases. This DCL is used to add a security to the database. DCL include two types of command. First is grant and another is revoke, which is respectively allow permission add or remove data from the databases. First is grant. First, grant. Grant command allow the database administrator to grant specific permission to the user on database objects such as table view. Grant allow user to perform specific tasks on databases. Syntax: grant privilege type column list on object type object name to user with a grant option. Revoke. Revoke help to owner to cancel previously granted permissions. When when we give a permission, grant permission to the user, then revoke helps to cancel the permission from the user. The syntax of the revoke is revoke in bracket grant option for privilege type column list on object type object name from the user in bracket case. Then fourth SQL language type is DQL. DQL stands for the data query language. DQL is a component of a SQL language that allow getting data from the databases and imposing order upon it. DQL statements are used to perform queries on the data within a schema object. The purpose of a DQL command is to get some schema relation based on the query passed on it. DQL command are as follows: select, from, where, group by, order by. First is select. The select is used to receive data from databases. Means the select tell the database which column or data you want to see or get. The syntax of the select is select column 1, column 2 from table name where condition. Here user need to provide the condition to the databases. From indicate the tables from which to retrieve the data. If you have a table, if you have a table, from, tell which table you are getting the data from. There. What is the syntax of from? Syntax select column 1 from table name. Then where 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 used to filter rows based on a conditions. The syntax of a where is select column 1, column 2 from the table and condition. Group 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 by rows. Group by show the groups row that have the same values in the specific columns. The syntax of group by is select column 1 comma age function column 2 from table 2 group table name group by column 1 order by. Sort the result set by one or more columns. Syntax select column 1 from table name order by column ASC and DES. Fourth language is a TCL, Transaction Control Language. TCL stands for the Transaction Control Language. These commands are used to manage a transaction within a database. And it ensures the data integrity and consistency. A transaction is a single logical unit of work that consists one or more SQL statement. By using the TCL command, we can control how changes to the databases are committed or retrieved, maintaining the consistency across multiple operations. TCL command are as follows: commit, rollback, save point. First one is a commit. This command is used to save the data permanently. Whenever we perform any DML command like insert, delete, update, once transaction is committed, it become a permanent and cannot be undo. Syntax commit. Then rollback. Second one is a rollback. The rollback command is used to undo all the transactions that have been performed during the current transaction but have not yet been committed. This command is useful for retrieving the databases to its previous state in case an error occurs or if the changes made are is not desired. For third one is the save point. The save point command is set a point within a transaction to which we can later roll back. This command allow for a partial rollback within the transaction, providing more control over which part transaction to undo. SQL constraint. Now we will understand what is SQL constraint. Constraints are the rules applied on column of a table to control the type of data that can be stored. They make sure the data in a database is accurate and reliable. Type of SQL constraint. First is not null. Not null ensure a column cannot have null or empty values. Second one is a unique. Unique ensure that all values in a column are different from each other. The third one is a primary key. Primary key is uniquely identify each record in a table. It is a combination of not null and unique. Then check. Check ensures value in a column meet a specific condition. Then default. Default provide a default value if no value is given. Then create index. Create index is a user to create and receive data from the database very quickly. Then what is join operation in SQL? In database, data is usually stored in different table to avoid duplicate and improve efficiency. Join helps combine data from these tables when we need it. Example, a student table has student details and a course table has course details. Join can combine them to show which student is in a which course. There are multiple types of join operations like inner join, left join, right join, full join. Firstly, we understand what is inner join. Inner join fetch only rows with matching values in both tables. If no match, then no one record is shown. The inner join is best when you only want record that exist in both tables. Here is a syntax of inner join. Select column from table A, inner join table B on table A common column equal to table B column. Here is our first table, it's student, and this is the overall data, student ID and student name. Then second table is course, in which student ID and student data is present. In student, here we perform join operation on student and course table. It provide only those those record which is common in both table, in student table and in course table. Here we can easily see that here 101 is common in both table and 102 is common in both table. Then left join. Here we understand what is the left join. Left join returns all the rows from the left table matching rows from the right. If no match in the right table, it shows the null. It is best when you want to allow data from the left table even if it has no match. The syntax of the left join is Select column from table A, left join table B on table A, common column equal to table B, common column. Here first table is a student ID and student and another is a course table. Here we see student ID and student names, and here we see student ID and student names. When we perform operation on this, left operation on this, here is a code, and we can get only left table here directly. This is Adam, Bob, Casey. You can see easily what left table, then same 101 101 Adam English, 102 Bob is, and here there is a no 102 present in a course table, so we can get null value at a course in in a result of left join. Then third one, 103 kg, then 103 in science. Then we get this output. Right join. The right. What is right join? Right join is the opposite of left join. It returns all the rows from the right table matching rows from the left. If no one match in the left table, null value is shown. It is best when you want to all data from the right table even if no match exists. Here is the syntax for the right join. Select column from a table A, right join table B on table A, common table B, common column. Here is an example of right join. Firstly, we can see student table, which includes student ID and student name. Second, we can see student course table, in which we include student ID and course. Here we can easily get the right side table, and which value is matched to the left table. Here we can get, and which is not matching, then we can get here null. Firstly, 101 English box, here in 105 there is no present in a students table, so we get null value here. Then in 107 we also don't present in a 107 in student table, so we get null value in name table. Last is full join. What is full join? Full join return all the rows from the both table with null where no match exists. It is a combination of left plus right join. Best when you want to full picture even if some record don't match. Here is a syntax of full join. Select columns from a table A, full join table B on a table A, common column equal to table B, common column. Here is an example of full join. Student, first table is student. Here we in student table student ID and name of the student. In course table we have student ID and course. Here is the code for the full join, and we get this output. What is the aggregate function in SQL? Aggregate function in SQL. An aggregate function in SQL are a function that perform a calculation on a set of groups of values and return a single value. These functions are crucial for analyzing and summarizing data, especially in large data sets. They are frequently used in conjunction with group by clauses to perform calculation on a specific group of data. Here is a various aggregation function in SQL: count, sum, average, maximum, minimum. First is a count. Count return the number of rows. Here, here is a three type of count. First is count. Count all the rows. Then second is count column name. Count non-null values in a specific column. Then count distinct column name. Count unique not null values in a column. Then second is a sum. The sum function returns the total sum of a numerical column. It provides the total sum of a numerical column. Then average. Average return the average of a numerical column. The average function calculates the average of a numerical column. It divides the sum of column by the number of a non-null rows. Then fourth is a minimum. Minimum returns the smallest value from the data. And then maximum return the largest value. Here, what is the set operation? The set operations combines the result of two or more select statement into a single result set. These operations are based on a mathematical set theories, concepts, and require that the select statement involved have the same number of columns and com- compatible data type in corresponding columns. There are there are various type of SQL set operation. First is unique. Unique, it combines result of two queries and remove duplicates. Example, here is a select city from a customer. Union, select city from a supplier. Returns all the unique cities from both tables. Then union or, it returns similar to union keeps du- but keeps duplicates. Select city from a customer, union all select city from a supplier. It this example returns all cities include duplicates. Third one is a insert. Insert return only the common rows between the two queries. Example, select city from a customer, intersect select city from a supplier. These examples show the cities that exist in a board table. Fourth one is a, okay, there is no fourth one. Here my task one is a completed. Then my task number two, in which I need I am install a MySQL window. For the installation of MySQL, go to the official MySQL site, MySQL community download. Download the MySQL installer for Windows. Then run installer. Double click the installer file. Accept the license agreements. Third one is choose the setup type. Options: developer, default, server only, client only, full or custom. For a learning, developer default is best. Then fourth one, install required software. This installer may promote for a Visual Studio or .NET. Configuration. Choose the standalone MySQL server. Select MySQL server version. Choose the authentication method. Set root password. Optionally add a MySQL user account. Configure Windows server name. Apply and finish. Here, then after the installation of MySQL, here we create a first database. Basically, for creating a database, we just write create database. Here is the name of the database, and here we created the database of store, and here we using the data store database. Hmm. Table creation. Here, firstly, we create the table in a store databases. For the creating table, firstly, we write create table, then table name, then customer id. Customer id is a customer id int. Int means data type and primary key. primary key is a unique key. Then customer name is a varchar. Then here in a bracket we show the size of the customer name, and we provide not need. Then contact is a varchar and the size of contact is 10. Then address also varchar and size of the address is 300. Here, hmm, for the inserting data, here we use insert into. This is the customer info is a customer table. This is our consent customer id, customer name, contact and address. This is value 01 Jayesh, and this is the contact number, and this is address. Similarly, we add a multiple type of values, and here we get the output of the table. For the see the output of the table, we use select from customer info. Then we get the output of the table. Then we create a multiple table for the store database. Order table show the customer id, order date, required date, shifted date, shift via, price, shift name, shift address, shift city, shift postal code, and shift country. Similarly, we create employee table which consists id, name, role. Then we create product table in which consists product id, product name, supplier, unit price, unit stock, and units order. Then we create a second database for the hospital. Firstly, create database hospital db. Use here, this is the hospital db is the name of the database. For the use hospital database, we use hospital we use the command use. For the in hospital table, we can create a multiple table by using a create command. For the table, firstly we create a patient table. Patient table include various things like patient ID, first name, last name, gender, date of birth, phone number, and address. Then we secondly create doctor table. In doctor table, we add a multiple things like doctor name, doctor ID, first name, last name, specialization, phone number, and department ID. Then table name, department table, department ID, department name, and location. Here is the appointment table of the hospital. It consists appointment ID, patient ID, doctor ID, appointment date, and reason. Then fourth one is a table appointment. Here our second task is completed. Now we start task number 3. Here we need to firstly install my workbench. MySQL workbench is a graphical tool that help to design, develop, and manage MySQL database easily. It allow you to create databases and table visually, write and run SQL queries, manage database connections. How to install MySQL branch? Firstly, go to the given link and install. Then and make sure you have MySQL server installed as well. Open MySQL workbench and set up a new connection with a MySQL server. Host name is localhost, username is root, and password. Enter your MySQL password. Then basic SQL queries. First basic SQL query is create. Create query is used for the create database. It show the Here first it is a syntax for the create database. Create database, then database name. This create a new database name by my database where we will store table and data. Then select database, use my database. This tell MySQL to switch a context, so all further command work inside my database. Create user table. This is an example for the create. Here we create a table user in which ID. We create ID for the user. It show the data type of the table, and the ID is a atom increment and a primary key. Wait, second is a where name. Name is a varchar. The size of the name is 100 and it should be the not null. Then third is the email. Email is also is a varchar and the size of the email is not null and unique. Age must be integer value. Then city is a varchar and size of the city is a 50. Create at a statement default current. Insert. This is used to insert the value in a record. Insert into user. Insert into username. Here we inserting the values in a previously created user table. Firstly, we insert a name, email address, age, city. Similarly, we insert multiple values in the table. Then we get when we use select from user, then we can easily see the user table. Here is the ID for the user table, name of the user table, email, age, city, and created at. Here we use filter user by city. Select from a user where city equal to Mumbai. Here we use where. Here we use a condition. Condition. What is the condition? That we can choose only these IDs or that values where the city equal to Mumbai. Here there are two IDs. First is a 1 and another is a 5. Then sort user by age. This command is useful for to sort the user according to the age. Select from a user. Firstly, we select the data from a user, order by age order according to the age. You can easily see here in the table we arrange the data according to the age. Then update table. Update table. Here is a syntax for the update table. Update user. What table you need to update? That is user table. What thing we need to update? That is set city equal to Pune. Uh, we need to update the city to Pune. Where we can update the Pune? Where the name equal to Priya Deshmukh. Where the name equal to Priya Deshmukh, then update the city in Pune. Here we can see the changes in the table. Firstly, here we can see that is the city equal to Mumbai. But after the updating table, we can easily see the city equal to Pune. Delete user. Delete from user. Where name equal to Vikram Joshi. Here we are deleting the Vikram Joshi from the table. In previous table, we can easily see at the ID number 4 Vikram Joshi. Then after the deleting, Vikram Joshi is deleted from the table. Then aggregate function. Here we aggregate function count the number of user. Here we can by using aggregate function we can calculate the total number of user present in the table. Select count as a total user from a user table. Here we can easily see the five number present in a five user present in a user table. Find averages. By using the average function we can find out the average of the given thing. Select average. Here we find the average of a age as an average age from a user. Here is the output of this code, average of a age. Here our task 4 is completed. Third is completed. Our task number 4 is design and create table for simple school database. Here we creating a table for the create database school. Firstly, we created table name student table. Firstly, create table name student. Create table of a student. Here is a record at fields. First is student ID. ID should be in integer, which is auto increment and primary. Then first name. First name is a varchar and here is the size of the first name. Then last name. Here is size of last name. Date of birth. Here we provide data type as a date. Then email, which is a varchar. Here, now we insert a data into student table. Insert into student, and here we specify the but our fields and then what values. Here we add the various records like name, last name, then date of birth, email ID. Okay. Similarly, we add multiple records. Then here is the output of a student table. Student ID, name of the student, last name, date of birth, and email. Second create subject table. Create table subjects, then subject ID, which is auto increment on primary, subject name and varchar. Here we inserting the value into subject, then subject ID, subject name and values. First is ID mathematics, physics, third is chemistry and English. By using this, here is our output of the subject table. Here is output of our subject table. Then table name, teacher table. Here we creating the table for the teachers. Firstly, teacher ID, which is integer and which is auto increment, first name, last name, email and subject ID. Here we inserting the value into teacher table in which first name, last name, email and subject ID values, like we insert various values like Elias Johnson. Here is the email of that person and the value. Here, subject ID. Here is, then we can see easily the teacher table in which teacher ID, first name, last name, email and subject like field present. Then department table. For a created department table we can use create table departments. Department ID auto increment primary department name and a varchar. Here we insert into department like science, arts and languages. Here our output of the department table. Then classroom table. Here is a classroom ID, auto increment and room number, building capacity. Insert into classroom. Here is a various field of a classroom and values. Here we inserting the value of the class in the classroom table, and here is the result of classroom table we can see. Then classes table. Here in the classes table, classes, class ID, class name, teacher ID, subject ID, department ID, classroom. Here we schedule teacher ID is a reference from the teachers table. Subject ID is a reference from subject table. Then department ID is a reference for the department table, and classroom ID is a reference from the classroom table. Here we use a teacher ID, subject ID, department ID, classroom ID are the foreign key from are the primary key of these teacher table, subject table, department and classroom table. Here we use as a foreign key. Here we inserting the overall values of these fields, and here we can easily see the output of the classes table. Then mm, table number 7 is enrollment table. Here enrollment table is the enrollment ID and auto increment primary student ID in class ID, and here we use a student ID which is a reference from to the student table, and class ID which is a reference from class table. Here we insert the value in the table, and here we can see output of the table. Our next table is attendance table. For here we create table of a name attendance, attendance ID which is the auto increment and integer, enrollment ID in attendance date. Then state it must be present, absent and less. Default when we does not fill the values, it must be absent. Foreign key. Here we use the enrollment ID which is a reference from the enrollment. Insert into attendance table. Here we inserting the value of our attendance table and values which is one, date, then present or absent. Here we can see easily the attendance table. Table name, exam table, create table, table name is exam, exam ID int which is a auto increment and primary key, class ID is int, exam date is date and maximum marks which is present is the int. Here we use a foreign primary key of a class table which is a foreign key for the exam table. Here we inserting the values into the exam table like class ID, exam date and maximum marks. Here we can see the output of the table, exam table which is exam ID, class ID, exam date and maximum marks. Then our table is exam result. Here this table show the result of the student, and which in which a result ID, result exam ID, student ID and mark obtained. Here we use for primary key of a class uh, exam and student table as a foreign key. Insert into here we inserting the value in exam result table, insert into exam result, insert ID, student, marks, and here we inserting the values. And this is the our exam table result, which is result ID, exam ID, student ID, and marks obtained. Last is the huh, last table is the staff table. Here we creating the table for the staff first ID, staff ID, first name, last name, position, and email. Here we inserting the value into the staff, and here we can see the table of staff, which includes staff ID, first name, last name, and position. Email. Thank you. I have been working as an intern at a technology for the past 1 month, and it has been highly valuable learning experience. During these days, I got the opportunity to work on various things, understand what is how the professional workflow, and improve my technicals and soft skills. The the team of a Technodexter is very supportive and approachable.